All right, we got some over-the-counter plays this morning from New York Stock Picks. We're going to have this Pineapple Express Canada Co. Now, this one's going to be a blockchain. It's like AI blockchain for the marijuana industry. They're mainly into blockchain and AI, but they're going to apply this technology to the marijuana industry. This is really all dependent on whether or not Trumperton decriminalizes marijuana, because then it's going to open up the dispensaries for the federal banking system. That's a big problem. At these federal banking system, or at these dispensaries, people can't use credit. And when they can use credit cards, I think that would be huge. And it'll definitely need some AI blockchain technology. These growers and these sellers, these dispensaries, this one might be able to help them. But remember, we're waiting on Trumperton. And they've been doing some things the past 5 days of 147%. So we shall see what these guys do. All right, then we got our little guy, IQST. They are up 4% in the pre-market. I was supposed to make this video for you guys yesterday. But you have IQST, and we have just recently got uplisted, okay? So that was big news for IQST. And now, they have a $33 million market cap. While they did $283 million in revenue in 2024 and $128 million in revenue for the first half of 2025. So, and yesterday they did this letter to the shareholders highlighting their strategic uplisting and a $1 billion revenue vision. And the new AI America plan. I think that IQST could certainly benefit from it. They have telecom, fintech, AI, cybersecurity, released a comprehensive shareholder letter recapping a recent investor interview conducted by Michael Porsche with the company's CEO and CFO. So I think they're doing things. Strong revenue trajectory, approaching 400 million annual run rate. This, if they start getting picked up by some hedge funds and big names, we could see something with IQST. Where was it when they launched? Or when they uplisted? Because they wouldn't have been on here when they did the uplisting. They would have been, that's the uplist. Yes, indeed it was. So they are coming back around. Let's see what happens. I think USD, I think they're an actual player for sure. It's definitely not over the counter anymore. IQST no longer over the counter. All right, then we got here ES Gold Corp, ESAUF. Now this one is not a typical mining company, okay? I think that they are interesting. They're interesting, okay? Now, last 6 months, they're up 329%. Now, all this stuff, the AI America action plan, it's gonna need minerals, people. It's gonna need the mining industry. Now, this is not technically a mining company, okay? Well, they're not a miner. They're not a miner per se. So what they're doing, they're pursuing rather than pursuing speculative exploration, they're focusing on reviving past producing or legacy mining sites, locations, established resources volume, historical grades, and existing infrastructure. That's actually a big deal because that's, infrastructure. Getting infrastructure places, that's a huge to-do. These sites weren't abandoned due to resource depletion or economic infeasibility, but rather because prior operators lacked the necessary resources to fully realize their potential. I would also probably say it could have been because of all of that tricky regulations, those pesky regulations. You know what I'm talking about. With gold prices at historic highs and demand for minerals across the board surging, this is an opportune moment for experienced, well-capitalized companies to secure their place in a revitalized market that's drawing renewed attention from Wall Street. All right, then you're going to have, here are some of the ones they're working with in a high-quality group of mineral miners. And you have Tech. Tech's a player. Tech is a player. There they are. So this can do something. Yeah, they definitely need some help, it looks like, from from this one. Then they have Newmont. That one nice. Newmont. That one is a nice one. God damn. I used to be a Newmont a year ago. I wish I should have stayed in that shit. God damn. They doubled. This one is nice and has a 1.6% dividend. But anyways, not that one. But so these guys could do something. If they get U.S. national debt climb and central banks, they're talking about the gold thing. and leveraging modern technology, high commodity prices, and a strong push for environmental solutions. Yeah, sure. ES Gold strategy focus on extracting value from legacy mines, efficiency, sustainability with minimal cost. There are no speculative drilling efforts. No decade-long waits for permits. Well, that doesn't apply to any mining industry at this point, but that's neither here nor there. Offers a low capex model with a short project timelines and clear, measurable economics. They could definitely do something. This is an interesting. It isn't just developing a single product, it's building a scalable business model. Wall Street values platforms that can grow and fund themselves, and ES Gold is doing just that, generating cash flow, reinvesting in expansion, and transforming overlooked assets into modern producers. The company is already fully permitted, that's a big deal, under construction and expects to pour both gold and silver within the next 2 quarters. This could be an interesting one. That is for sure. And then, okay, this guy, I am not even exactly sure what this company does. They do not even have any news, okay? So this is just popping up on people's scanners. But I can't even technically find out what DTII even is. Like, they're a defense... Wait a minute. Yeah, their news is all old. Signed Safer School Technologies, a distributor for the state of Texas. India, U.S. Defense. No, that might not be them. Wait, yeah, no, that's not them. But this DTI, I find it a little suspicious that they are going up so much with no news. No news. Who's talking about these ones? It's odd. And if you look what they say, nothing. Where's the news for this company? Now I'd like to know. I really would. It doesn't exactly tell us. I don't even know. Do they even have a website? Here's their website. Our patent passive weapons detection using latest zero radiation passive scanning. I walk through these things all the time at a school I used to work at. I didn't know they had radiation. Dude, these fucks. Passive security scans, technological breakthrough, and walkthrough security scanning will transform security protocols for educational, institutional, public, and government facilities. Maybe they have something and they're just not posted. But I find that to be interesting. Their patented non-invasive detects weapons by reading subtle changes in the Earth's magnetic field. I didn't know that happens when you carry a blicky. That's interesting, meaning they emit potentially harmful radiation that could cause damage of bodies or prolong a frequent exposure. Instead of using X-rays or other emissions, the sensors inside in the passive portal read variations in the Earth's magnetic field and alert users when firearms, knives, or other weapons are present during screening. Well, we'll see what happens with them. I'm not exactly sure what this DTI is doing, but they are definitely making some moves. And then, last one. Okay, this NYC Stocks that said, this is a very risky one, a very incredibly risky one, all right? And these guys, here's what they have. Not many shares out there for these ones, okay? So that's why they could just pretty much, they could either make it or you could lose all your money. But here's the thing. This affluent corporation signs a definitive agreement acquiring Mingo Things. Wait, and this one, so this is the lottery. Wait, it's not a low float, What they have too many shares out. And the held at DTC number is a true float is around 4.5 billion shares. But we could say low market cap, okay, in the 1 million. And with the market cap being so low, obviously it's incredibly risky. With any penny stock really trading at this low, okay? But this is considered a lotto play because when a stock goes to the ground floor, 0.0001, they usually don't recover. But if this does recover, the profits can be massive. That's what my over-the-counter expert investor has said, that there are a lot of shares, okay? But if this, and here's what I think could actually be something. They announced a definitive agreement, right? So if they announced a definitive agreement April 2nd, that could tell me that it goes through soon. Maybe. It can take a long time to acquire a company, but once the acquisition is completed, based in Barcelona, will work in partnership with One Mine Technology. OMT is also a wholly owned subsidiary of Affluence. OMT utilizes a proprietary One Mine platform to integrate key data from disparate systems into a single dashboard or hypervisor and harnesses the power of artificial intelligence to revolutionize how businesses interact with data and make decisions. So basically, if these guys make it, big money. If they don't make it, then you would have lost your money. So this one is definitely a lottery play. Lottery. Very risky. And really the only news on this company is this article from April 2nd, which tells me that it could be coming. And this smart city stuff connected to that IoT market is projected to grow. I mean, obviously we know that's all going to grow, the smart city thing, because they're going to be rounding motherfuckers up. But I don't know. This one is definitely the far riskiest out of all of these.